they're really trying to support new businesses, whether that be across fintech, health tech, other forms of technology to really disrupt and bring new sectors to the economy. So we've faced nothing but support from DIFC, ADGM. The regulators are very open to working with you to be able to bring you to market. So it's been a very pleasant experience so far. And obviously there's a local VC ecosystem as well that supports you to be able to come through. So yeah, I think that's something that we've been very happy with, and we look to kind of cement ourselves further in the region. I think across the board, our ecosystems are semi-similar. I think it's a little bit more mature in the UAE just because it's existed for a little bit longer. VC funds have a longer vintage over there. You've had previous exits like the likes of Kareem that have happened from that ecosystem. So there's an acceptance and path to kind of understanding there. You've got, I think, more second time, third time founders, for example, in the UAE or the Middle East in general versus in Pakistan, because it's just so new when it comes to a venture funding standpoint. I think the lessons that can be learned is that this is a game of patience and it's long term. So things may not make sense right at the beginning, and there will be blow-ups. Blow-ups does not mean it's a failure of the system. It's learnings that need to be encountered and learned from to be able to further build. So I think the lessons that should be there are really the attitude towards VC and startups of saying that, look, this is not a clear shot. The likelihood of success is also low, and so you shouldn't be kind of, I wouldn't say necessarily celebrating, but it almost feels like that. It's a Schadenfreude version of what happens when companies do go under in Pakistan, is to not then just dismiss the entire ecosystem. I think there are very good companies over here that are building something which is required for the local market. And so you need to kind of have a longer term vision with that. So I think that's one. And two is trying to solve the problem, getting capital to the right businesses. So I think it's getting that growth equity in place so that when the tide turns, for example, like it did last year in Pakistan, that there is dormant capital sitting there to be able to support those businesses at scale, to be able to get them to grow even larger in the country.